This is a drawing made by a man who says he watched this thing hover over his tent. What you're about to see forever changed this man's life and his understanding of the reality in which we all exist. Arkansas, 1977. Two Air Force airmen are camped deep in the Ozarks, and something outside their tent is lighting up the canvas from every side. Neither man will fully explain what happened that night for decades to come. More than 30 years later, a bizarre artifact shows up on an X-ray of one of the men's legs. And that man, an accomplished attorney, sits down to write the story he swore he'd never tell. This is that story. I'm Tim Stone, a lawyer and author in New York, and this is Catskill Liminal Walk. So, who is Terry Lovelace, besides boasting an incredible last name? He's not a UFO researcher. He's not a paranormal podcaster. He's not a YouTube content creator. He's a retired attorney. He was an assistant attorney general for the state of Vermont. Before that, he was general counsel at a major medical center in the U.S. territory of American Samoa. Before that, he was an assistant attorney general in American Samoa. Before that, in private practice, he focused on civil litigation and criminal defense. And before that, even before law school, he was a young U.S. Air Force medic stationed at a nuclear missile base in Missouri. Lovelace says it himself, right in the introduction of his first book. He wasn't chasing this story. He says, in his own words, that he's not on a mission to change anyone's mind about UFOs. He's not even a science fiction fan, which is part of what makes this story different. This isn't a lifelong believer. This is a seasoned lawyer, a litigator, probing and testing his own memory. One quick note before we go further. Terry Lovelace has written 2 books about his experiences. What you're about to hear in this episode and the 2 episodes after that come from his first book, Incident at Devil's Den. That's the account I'm telling. If there's an appetite for it, I may come back and cover the material in his second book, which is called Devil's Den, The Reckoning, somewhere down the line. But for now, this is book 1, told the way Lovelace told it. This story doesn't start in a camping tent in 1977. According to Lovelace, it starts in his early childhood. And it gets strange real fast. Because the first thing that came for Terry wasn't a spacecraft. It was something much closer to home. When he was still a very young child, Lovelace says he was visited, repeatedly, by small figures in his darkened bedroom, about 2 feet tall, large yellow eyes, long arms, and tails. He was certain, even then, that these weren't real animals. They were something else, wearing masks. He called them the monkeymen. One night, one of them spoke directly into his mind, called him by name. "Terry, won't you come and play with us?" He describes their grins growing less friendly, less like children's toys, even signs of impatience at times. I heard his words in my head, but the monkeys' lips never moved. Their faces were all locked in the same eerie grin. It was as if they all wore identical masks. Here's the part that stopped me cold. In high school, Lovelace wrote a poem about the monkeymen. He titled it 4 Grinning Monkeys. He got an A, incidentally. It's an astonishing poem about these creatures abducting humans and about their total disregard for human sentience and feelings. It was a high school-age Terry Lovelace telling a thinly veiled account of his own abductions. Faces with grins approached me to say, "Terry, won't you come with us and play? Come with us now, give us your hand, and we'll take you to an unbelievable land. This night the monkey men take me with ease, and I'm but a terrified child, if you please. These things are not men that are born of this earth. Near star to the west is the place of their birth. The years have passed quickly as life slips from my grasp. Pray tell me, why did you hurt me, I ask? From earth you take away women and men, to tag us and track us, toward what an end? I swear by all that is holy and all that is right, the next time you come to take me at night, when 4 little monkeys crouch near my bed, I'll take a revolver and shoot them all dead." Excerpts from 4 Grinning Monkeys, Terry Lovelace, written in high school. Think about that for a second. This is a teenager describing something that terrified him as a child. Human beings being abducted, tagged, and tracked, treated as if they're not sentient and without empathy. This poem was completely on the nose, something that Terry Lovelace wouldn't fully grasp until decades later. During his preteen years, Terry said something else started happening, something in the sky. It's the summer of 1963. Lovelace, 8 years old, is in his backyard, target shooting with a bow and arrow. A fast, dark shadow suddenly sweeps across the grass in front of him. Reflexively, he looks up. And there it is, a large silver disc hanging maybe 50 feet above him. Seen from directly underneath, the whole bottom of the thing is visible. One continuous, seamless sheet of polished metal. No rivets, no panel lines, no hatches. It just wobbles slightly in the breeze and sits there. And then it's gone. A similar incident takes place only a few years later, this time at night and from the perch of his bed. It's January 1966. Lovelace is 11. It's bedtime. Bitterly cold outside, snow blowing. Terry's lying in bed when the room fills with pulsing, multicolored light. Greens and yellows, brighter than anything he'd seen. There's a low mechanical hum. A model airplane on his desk, a Voight F-4U-4 fighter plane, vibrates right onto the floor. Terry pulls back the curtain. Hovering right outside his second-story window, a large silver disc. He can see the top this time, and it has a dome, as expected. The lights are so intense that he can't stare for more than a few seconds. It was a flying saucer. It was shrouded in a heavy fog that rose from underneath somewhere. It was hovering over the front lawn just a few feet outside my bedroom window. Terry was terrified of the monkeymen. This was no secret in the Lovelace household. And he told his parents about at least one of the flying saucer sightings. His parents' response was not comfort. It was correction. At one point, his father sat him down with a doctor who had young Terry repeat out loud, "There are no flying saucers, and nothing in the sky can hurt me. Say it loud," the doctor told him, "so your dad can hear it too." I guess that was a normal thing for parents and authority figures to do in those days. Explain it away and move on. I'd hope that in this day and age, as frightening as it can be, people are more open-minded. Terry says he buried most of this, the monkeymen, the lights, for decades. It didn't fully resurface until much later, under hypnosis, in a session that reframed everything he thought he remembered. We'll get to that in episode 2. If you enjoy these kinds of UFO deep dives, and if you want to see the next 2 episodes in this series about Terry Lovelace, please hit like and subscribe. And if you leave a comment, I'll definitely respond to it. Fast forward to 1975. Lovelace is out of high school and 2 years into his enlistment with the US Air Force. He did not do it out of patriotism. He's very candid about that, but rather because the military would pay for his college education through the GI Bill. He trains as a medic and gets assigned to Whiteman Air Force Base, south of Kansas City, a strategic air command base. B-52s and underground Minutemen II nuclear missile silos scattered across the Missouri farmland. Terry's job? Ambulance driver, night shift, paired with a fellow airman, a young guy from Flint, Michigan, named Tobias. Everybody called him Toby. One bitterly cold night, a call comes in. A security guard had apparently fallen into one of the missile silos and injured himself. Terry and Toby race out to retrieve him. And when they pull up, everyone at the site is just staring at the sky. Hovering 50 feet above Kilo 5 silo, a diamond-shaped object. Jet black, matte, non-reflective, lit up by a half-dozen spotlights from the security police cars. Bigger than a van, dead silent, motionless. For 10 full minutes, nobody moves. Then, without warning, it shoots north, accelerating from a dead stop to over 100 miles an hour, gone in under a second. So, what is it, Terry? Toby, man, I don't have a clue. The captain in charge orders everyone to write up a clean report and to never speak of the incident again, which they don't, at least not for a long time. But 2 years later, Terry and Toby go camping. I know that sounds like a buddy comedy, but it's not. Because what happens next is the very reason this book exists. By 1977, Terry and Toby are seasoned co-workers. They're good friends too. And Toby has the idea. Let's go camping. Terry, he loved photography. Toby loved astronomy. And they can indulge in their passions while in the great outdoors, spending a weekend away from the base. Two buddies hanging out. On its face, nothing seemed wrong. But look closer, and there's something odd about how this trip comes together. Neither of them had camped before. They never hunted, never fished, and seemingly never even built a tent. And there were parks closer to base, yet they fixate, almost obsessively, on one specific, out-of-the-way spot. Devil's Den State Park, Northwest Arkansas, June 1977. They land on it in a guidebook, deep in the Ozarks of Northwest Arkansas. Two bookworm types with zero camping experience and an almost 20-year-old Boy Scout manual as their only reference. And still, this one park is all either man can think about for 7 weeks. They leave before sunrise in Terry's old Chevy Impala. No air conditioner, no seatbelts, no FM radio. When they reach the park many hours later, they bypass the main gate, visitor center, and camping sites entirely. Terry driving and Toby navigating. Toby hand-drawing a map on the back of a bank envelope so they can eventually find their way back. They pass a sign that reads, "No admittance." After a mile or two of twisting roads, the terrain gets tougher. Blacktop turns to gravel that degrades to dirt, which eventually just becomes ruts and clay. They reach a locked chain blocking the road with a no entry sign. They simply move it out of the way and drive past, deeper into the park. The grade continues a subtle climb along limestone bluffs without guardrails. After an hour of twists and turns and up a sharp incline, they reach the summit of a plateau. At the peak, they find a wide meadow, pasture of wildflowers in late bloom, described as a carpet of white and blue. They park around midday, well off any marked road, and set out on foot from there. A long hike deeper into the wilderness. No real plan beyond exploring their surroundings before returning to the car to set up camp in the meadow. Partway through the hike, they stop to rest on a limestone ledge overlooking the valley. And for reasons neither of them can explain afterward, they both fall asleep, hard and without meaning to. They wake up hours later, disoriented, nearly at sundown. No clear sense of how long they were out there for. They turn around and hike urgently back to the car, afraid they'll end up lost out in the darkness on foot. Back at the meadow where they'd parked, they pitch the tent and get a fire going. This will, in theory, be their home for the next 2 days. A few hours later, as they're sitting around the fire, Toby looks up and sees 3 points of light, low on the western horizon, in a perfect triangle. They watch the 3 lights for well over 20 minutes, and neither can explain why they aren't more alarmed, especially as the lights begin to move, to slowly rotate as if on an axis, and to gradually climb the horizon and grow in size. There's a strange calm settling over both men, even as they're trying to figure out what they're witnessing. I don't think those are stars. I agree. Those are not stars. That's where we're going to leave it for episode 1. 3 lights that shouldn't be moving are beginning to climb the horizon, and 2 men who, for some reason, aren't as alarmed as they should be. In episode 2, those lights, they get a lot closer, and the account grows extremely disturbing. Please hit subscribe if you want to see episode 2 of this account, and I hope to see you again on Catskill Liminal Walk.